Hey guys, Clay here. We've got Rugged Ridge's XOR front bumper for your Jeep JL in the shop, and we're going to show you how to install it. For this installation, I'll be using an impact, a 3/8 driver, a 17mm ratcheting wrench, a plastic trim removal tool, and then a 19mm, 17mm, and a 7mm deep well socket, a short extension, and a 6mm Allen. Let's get started. Now, as you guys can see, our front bumper's already been removed. If you do not know how to remove your front bumper, make sure to go check out our video on how to do so. Now, the first thing we're going to do is take our fog lights from our OE front bumper and we're going to install those into this front bumper. So let's go ahead and do that. So now this bracket's going to come with your bumper, and this is for the Rubicon steel front bumper. Some of those come with LED lights that have a different bolt pattern to this, and there's a plastic locating pin, so this would just bolt as like a spacer in between that. And if you have those lights, this will make sense. We don't. We have the Rubicon LED lights, but they're for the non-steel bumper, and so it's just got the standard pattern that goes all the way back to the JK. So that's just going to go in there just like that. You're going to need to grab 4 carriage bolts, flat washers, lock washers, and nuts, and then just fish these in from the bottom. Once you get them in place, you don't need a tool. The carriage bolt should hold itself in that slot. I'm just going to center that up. Make sure everything's snug. Now this is plastic, so you don't need to tighten it too much. Now repeat that process on the other fog light. So now this is the factory plug for the factory fog lights, and we're just going to take our clip removal tool and we're going to move this to the inside of the frame in here. That'll just give us a little bit more length on this wire to connect the fog light. Now we'll plug our factory harness back in. So the next step is to position the bumper onto the Jeep. Now there are bolts welded on the bumper that are going to line up with these holes on both of these frame horns. Now the outside upper hole is one size smaller. So if once you're attaching the hardware to the bumper, if it feels like the nut's smaller, it needs to be on this upper outside hole. So now we're on the passenger side and we're on that upper smaller hardware I was talking about. So we're just going to put a washer and one of the lock nuts on there. Go ahead and tighten that up. Now we're on that same side on that lower bolt. And now we'll move to the inside of the frame. Now we're on the passenger side, now on the inside of the frame horn. We're going to put on the washer and the lock nut. Tighten that up. Now there's another bolt on the bottom. and make sure to repeat that process on the driver's side. So now we're back over on the passenger side, fog light. We're just going to plug in our clip, and then I'm going to take the excess wire that we've got, we're going to loop it up here, zip tie it, and then we'll plug it in over on our driver's side. So now we're going to install the skid plate. This Rubicon's got these threaded nutserts and this crash bar right here. Some of them don't, and you've got hardware to compensate for that. You just go through this access hole in the bottom with a wrench and a regular nut and bolt configuration, but like I said, this one's already got it in there, so we'll just hold it up. And you have one of these on each side, so now we'll put the driver's side one in. And that'll hold that in place. We're going to leave that a little loose, and then we can attach all of our hardware that attaches the skid plate to the bumper. So now you're going to have these button head bolts. It's going to be washer on the bottom, washer on the top, and then the locking nut. And you got 5 of these that connect the skid plate to the bumper. Now we'll start tightening all that hardware up, and we're just going to work our way back and forth across this so we don't bind anything up, and we'll be done. There you go, guys. That's a really easy install. Hour max in your driveway at home. A friend may help, but you could definitely do it on your own. Now, if you got any questions at all, make sure to give us a call or visit us online. Thanks.